Hello everyone, this is Angela La Torre and this is the final presentation for the Engineering Management class project, which title is Lajas Gun Club Client Data Storage Improvement. Let's start with an outline of the presentation, which includes a brief problem statement to brush up what we discussed on the project proposal and the progress report. Then we will go over the technical approach or methodology used to complete the project. Furthermore, discuss the results obtained and the conclusion of the project. Next, for the closing of the final presentation, the references and question and answer slides. So let's begin. Since Lajas Gun Club relocated to a new facility without electricity, membership and license renewal and handle time has gone up. This project intends to improve Lajas Gun Club client data storage method to be more efficient, organized, and increase the customer service and satisfaction. In order to do that, the project intends to decrease the membership and license renewal and handling time by at least 50%. As a recap, let's explain again what was the technical approach used to complete this project, which was the DMIC, or also known as Lean Six Sigma model. DMIC is known for improving performance by systematically removing waste and reducing variation. To give an overview of how DMIC works, here you can see the 5 phases used, which are define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. On the define phase, we define what was the problem and what were the activities to do in order to meet the objectives, also defining this phase. For that, we use the project charter, stakeholder analysis, and cycle diagram tools to help us complete this phase. Next, we pass to the measure phase, in which data was collected according to the data collection plan and the current value stream map used to identify which specific parts of the process needed to be observed. In the analyze phase, the data collected on the measure phase was used on the fishbone diagram to determine the root causes for the problems and control charts to see if the process was in control and capable. After analyzing the data, we determined what was needed to improve and implemented the improvements and passed on to the control phase to maintain these improvements in order. While defining our stakeholders, we identified 2 of them, which are the board of the club and Jonathan, which is the office clerk whose job is going to be affected by the improvements. Main expectation from the board is to increase earnings of the club, while the main expectation of the office clerk is to be more organized and finish tasks faster. The cycle diagram, which is a tool used to help identify all the relevant items of the process improvement project before work begins. It is particularly useful when it is not clear who are the suppliers, what are the specifications, who are the true customers of the process, and what are the requirements. In here, you can see the suppliers, what are the inputs to the process to renew or get a new membership, then the outputs of the process, which will be the membership and the forms filled out during the process. And last, the customer, which in this case is actually the member. This tool helps to understand the process and how can the other phases in the DMIC methodology will help achieve the objectives and how improvements can be applied in which step of the process in further phases. Here you can see the data collection plan, which has 5 purposes and are clearly define the goals and objectives of the data collection, rich understanding on operational definitions and methodology for the data collection, ensure data collection accuracy, stability, reproducibility, and repeatability, and follow through the data collection process and follow through with the results. For the project, our metric was the handle time of the process in the office, and this process was stratified or divided in steps, which are described on the notes section. The collection of the data was going to be daily with a sample size of 100%, which means that every time a member came into the office, handle time needed to be recorded. Here you can see the current value stream map, which is a lean management tool that helps visualize the steps needed to take from product creation to delivery it to the end customer. Its main purpose is to identify value-adding and non-value-adding steps in the process, delays that hold up the process, restraints that limit the process, and excess inventory that ties up resources unproductively. In here, the cycle time of each of the steps is noted, and based on that, we determine that the first step is the most time-consuming one. So for the analyze phase, special consideration for this step is going to be a major objective for improvement. With the fishbone diagram, also known as the cause and effect diagram, we were able to identify the root causes of why handling time was so high. We used the main categories of personnel, machines, and method to classify these root causes. From here, we determined that the root cause was that there were no connection between the information on the binders and the information on the index cards, so there was no way to correlate them. Here you can see the box plot tool, and with this we were able to see the distribution of the process in the office and see that in effect the steps that take the most time to handle were the membership and the licenses. Minitab was used to run a process capability six-path to determine if the process was stable and in control, to determine whether the data follow a normal distribution, and to estimate overall capability and potential capability of the process. In figures shown here, the process of the membership and license renewal were not in control because there are values out of the control limits, and it also can be seen that the CPK value, which indicates future capability, and the PPK value, which indicates current capability, are indicated that the process is not capable at the time. After analyzing the data, it was found that the best way to operate the club without power and still have a reliable data storing system was to create a binder organized in alphabetical order by last name. This is to make possible a cross-reference system in which if a client didn't bring their membership number, the office clerk is going to be able to find their membership number with this binder, and then be able to find the index card with their information more easily. The before and after analysis showed that previously, if a client didn't bring their membership number with them to find it, the office clerks will have to look on a binder that is organized by year and start looking one by one for that client's last name to find their membership number. Now, with this improvement, the office clerk will be able to find the client's membership in less time by cross-referencing the new binder with the index cards. Since the new binder will be organized by alphabetical order by last name, it will be more easily to find a person. The future value stream map shown here confirms this statement by having an average lead time of 4.84 minutes for membership renewals and 7.20 minutes for licenses, which is 50% or less of the current value stream map. Let's pass on to the control phase. And for this phase, we basically created an SOP document, or also known as Standard Operating Procedure. And this document is going to be available for the person in the office clerk position so they can be able to replicate the process if needed at some point. So again, let's wrap up with the conclusion. To be competitive, La Hasgan Club had to improve their customer service and satisfaction by decreasing the membership and license renewal time by at least 50%. Using DMI methodology, this project achieved the objective and reduced the handle time to improve customer experience while renewing membership and licenses. The creation of a standard operating procedure will ensure that the control of the process on the long run. Here are the references that I used to complete this presentation. And I hope this video was informative, and please, if you have any questions, just comment below on the video or follow the professor's instructions for video commenting. Thanks.